All right, let's look at the S&P for today. Let's focus on narrative. And here was my prep coming into the open today. Bearish level looming above. But big yellow, important neutral area, if you will. And then a bullish zone, which is new for us there. So where did these come from? Well, and then obviously the structural areas there. Like we said, for all intensive purposes, quarterly development value low was tagged. I know it wasn't quite tagged officially, but like I said, it might as well have been areas, not lines, right? So we got there. Would it be surprising to see us push lower and maybe fully wick through that area? It's a large zone. It's a long time frame. So sure, we could push 3160s and it still be an extreme fade on that time frame, right? Or further. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for today's prep, we'd pretty much tagged it. We're late in a rotation and on that time frame. Nothing to really do or see on the yearly. Obviously, the rejection on a micro basis, not a very good rhythm basis, but very short term, we've gotten underneath developing value. We've held the retest of it, and we push lower. So that's the big yellow zone. The bull zone and the bear zone both come from the monthly again. The bull zone was a confluence of the monthly and the weekly. Actually, they were both pushing extremes. We'll just go back a little bit here. So as you can see, this is where we are coming into the open on my crosshairs. And so look specifically at the monthly and weekly charts, and you'll see pushing the -2s. So it doesn't matter that the yearly's broken down and that's a bearish chart. It doesn't matter that, whatever chart might be, below a 2-day CVA essentially, right? Like if you push a bunch of -2s, I'm going to tend to look for a reversion from there. So in a nutshell, that's the prep. I feel like we got to a destination area on the quarterly. We were pushing extremes on the monthly and weekly. So I wanted to be bullish from that zone and looked for something of a retracement towards the next inflection with where it was at the time, monthly developing value area low, to see if we remain imbalanced. Obviously, that level has migrated down throughout the session below where my prep level was. And, what did we get on the session? What opportunities were there? Right off the open, I like the extreme fade. I was starting to go for it, before the market even opened. But this was quite nice. We push and start to turn. There you go. I only took it personally across to the next structural area and across to developing value. I thought that was just kind of good enough, for that particular trade. If you wanted to hold a core position, you can't trail that stop up into here. You're going to get taken out. You should have a low of day stop essentially if you're going to hold a core from there. But then what happens? We get imbalanced. Really nice. Let's bring where we can see kind of both of these. There we go. So that's off the bull zone from the lower -2 extremes. We're working our way. Are we going to get imbalanced? No, we don't. We stay rotational. But then VWAP. We can't get below VWAP on a couple tests. Then the micro imbalance pullback. And then here it is, the real imbalance pullback, which takes us up just about perfectly to test the most important structural area on this chart. Where does it come from? I made a recent 2-day. I split out K period. I left the J period break to leave some excess on the low there, although we would have had D period excess. I'm sure it won't matter. If J period's here or here, doesn't matter. But this is what unfolded today. Couldn't get below this structural area. We kind of bounce around in here, but ultimately rejecting this important most recent CVAs, you see I cut off 2 old ones in the formation of this. Great day from narrative, great lesson for you guys with kind of an extreme fade on the long-term VWAPs, using that right after, just the completion of a destination and getting extended, leading to opportunity in the opposite direction as we bounce. It's a beautiful thing. So I hope you're enjoying this.